Connected, we can go live.
Woo woo!
Yeah,
Excited.
good afternoon, everyone. It's Sunday, the 10th of January. She says, looking down to check the date.
It's,
Because all days are the same at the moment, having
oh, aren't
not
they?
had a routine. Is anybody back in routine yet?
No, not at all. I think it'll be Tuesday for me. Send the husband back to work tomorrow, tidy up, and
Got to
then,
be done, hasn't it?
oh, yeah,
Can you then go back to your slovenly ways?
yeah, yeah. It's really funny because he is really tidy and likes things done and everything. And while he's been home, we've been doing all these jobs and everything. But what always happens, no matter how long he's been home, no matter what he's done, the last few hours, he's like a Tasmanian devil going round the house, and he creates chaos and leaves things all over the place where he tries to finish off jobs or leaves his dirty washing and puts things here and forgets about it. So I actually have to go around and spend a couple of hours cleaning after he first leaves, bizarrely. And then I can go back to the normal of not doing anything. He's been out in the garden digging this afternoon.
You want to check the size of the hole, given that he's leaving the country. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
Yeah. I'll just be aware. If you don't hear from me later on.
Yeah, if he asks you to go out in the garden and have a look, just make sure you're not stood anywhere near it and
Yeah.
don't let anybody get behind you.
Okie dokie. Yeah.
Just a quick tip.
Just.
So Helen's in the house. Hello, Helen. How are you doing? And Catherine's here. Good morning, Catherine.
Have you got a coffee?
I've got tea. Builder tea.
I've got tea with my special soya milk in it now.
All right. Are you enjoying that? Is that working well?
It's a little bit too creamy. It's a bit like putting blue milk in, whereas I was always a green milk person.
Right.
But it's better than no milk.
And does that mean you can have proper tea?
Proper, actual proper. I don't know if you can see that. That's proper tea. Can you see that?
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So nice.
Oh, that's good. I bet Catherine's on coffee. Oh, Jessie's in the house. How are you doing, Jessie?
Hey, Jessie. Nice to see
So
you.
we said today we would continue with our discussions on
Oh, yes.
find it, fix it,
Mm-hmm.
forget it, frog it, finish it.
Yeah.
So has anybody made any progress on that? I frogged a hat,
Woo.
and this is about two-thirds of the yarn that's left from that now. So it's some Rowan Cash Soft Aran from
Okay.
when it was actually made in the UK rather than abroad with a label slapped on it. Um, and it was a skiff hat by Brooklyn Tweed. And I really liked the hat. And I made the smaller size with some James Zebra. Is it Woodlander yarn? It's like a self striper with kind of a soft kettle dye mottled to it.
Sounds lovely.
Uh, it's all in greys, and I actually really like it. And I love the massive pom pom that I put on the top of the hat. And I thought, well, I'll make the iron one in a slightly larger size with this wool.
Yeah.
And I got gauge, but the hat was just, I don't know, it was just enormous, and felt like it was going to be like a cone head.
Oh.
I could have stopped people parking outside my house if I'd sat with it on.
Oh,
Um, so I ended up ripping it out, which was a real bummer because there was about 6 or 8 inches of ribbing
no.
with ickle needles that you have to do
Oh.
beforehand.
Oh.
So, so having done almost to the crown decreases on what was going to end up being a horrendously tall hat, I just thought, no, it's got to come out. So then I cast this on instead. So it's just literally a stitch pattern out of a stitch directory. It's like diamonds,
Pretty.
and it's reversible.
Is it for you?
Probably is the answer. It's
Okay.
it's it's blue.
It is blue. It is blue.
It's
But I've been told I'm not allowed everything that's blue.
okay. It's what my dad would call Man City blue, and then
Oh,
spit on it. So.
it matches one of the blues on your top.
It's very similar to the aqua.
From my camera view, it does. I mean, possibly on other cameras, maybe not.
No, it's not a close match, but it's close enough.
Yeah, it's lovely.
And I might make myself another cathedral hat because I've been wearing this one. This is the Blueface Lester Aron in burnt orange.
That's nice.
And I love my
matches your top.
Yeah, that's a reasonable match with the red.
Or are you wearing all the colours?
I'm trying. But yeah, this is a hat I really love to wear, and I really like this yarn, and this has been washed so many times, and just always keeps its shape and comes out. So that's kind of my go-to for in the car.
Cool.
At the moment when I'm taking Jake to work.
Lovely.
So and that is the first thing I've cast on since before Christmas. It's the first bit of knitting I've done.
Well done.
Nita's in the house. Hi, Nita. Catherine says she's on her second coffee of the day. Oh, that's good. Francesca's there.
Hi, Francesca.
Jessie's on hot chocolate. And Helen Curzon is in the house.
Hey, Helen.
So have you got a coffee, Helen? What have you got? Oh, Nita is on matcha.
We've got two coffee really drinks there then.
I know they're all showing off.
Yeah. Goodness, it's no builder's tea or just normal coffee, is it?
So did I see a whip on your legs?
I'm doing my shawl that I started last week. And so I think I definitely had started on the white, but I don't think I moved on to the grey. I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
So then the grey with a feather and fan. And then back to garter in a light blue. And now I've gone for a lacy section in a darker blue.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to look like that. How do we like that then?
That's nice. What yarn is it?
It's Mila Mia.
Right, yeah.
The Swedish one. It's Virgin Merino. It is super soft. Gorgeous. And then there's one more ball. I got a set of it, and there's one more ball of blue that's even darker than this. Proper navy.
Right.
So I'll go back to garter again. So I'll have garter, pattern, garter, pattern, garter, and then that'll be it. Yeah.
So let me just ask on that one. Was it an actual colour pack that you could buy, or did you choose your colours?
I think I did buy a colour pack. I think it's been in my stash for a while. And during the gift along, I couldn't quite work out what I was going to cast on next. So I got all my stuff out and I started putting it on my stash on Ravelry, and I come across this pack and I thought, you know, I've had this for a while. What was I going to do with it? I'm sure I got it off Lovecrafts, and I really love it, and I think it's turning out quite well.
Right, so Helen Gibson says that she really likes the Mila Mia yarn.
Yeah, it's nice.
Francesca's saying she used to knit for the boys in Mila Mia, and it's gorgeous. Good to know. I've not actually tried it, Francesca and Helen, so thank you for that. Helen Curzon says it's tea at this stage and the last mince pie.
Is it diet tomorrow? Monday's always.
Well, I'm kind of glad Mike isn't here.
Okay.
Between us, because sort of next week, you know, when you go into the shops and all the packs of mince pies are like 5p.
Yeah.
He would come home literally with a boot full of packs of mince pies. Wow. And they'd be all around the house. Everywhere you looked, there would be stacks of boxes of mince pies. Well, we'd eat them all.
Yeah.
And one of the days he went onto Vulture Corner in Morrison's, and someone had either over-delivered from head office,
yeah,
or someone locally had cocked up the order. But they had something like 400 of the really big tubs of double cream, yeah, for a penny each.
Oh my goodness.
And he came home with 48 of these things of cream, and I just looked in the car and went, what were you thinking? And he said, if we knocked on every other house in the street and gave them away, it's only a penny. And I mean, he was here for a fortnight,
Yeah.
and he was pouring cream on his cereal. He was having cream in his tea and coffee. I was in the kitchen whipping cream and then in a piping bag and then freezing little sort of mounds of cream
Yeah.
to go into bags into the freezer. We had profiterole. Honestly, the number of times we had steak to make a cream sauce, I was sick to death of the
Well, it's a
sight of
good job you
cream.
weren't having your cholesterol checked at that point, isn't it?
My cholesterol actually is nearly always good because I have porridge pretty much every day.
With
But
cream.
well, I don't. I have mine with water.
Yeah.
And I've had it with water for 20 years or more. I don't actually like it
I
with
love
cream.
I love
It's
my porridge with milk. I don't like it with water.
no, I make mine with
And
water.
golden syrup. Naughty. But it actually my body's decided it doesn't like porridge, so I haven't had it for a while. Sad.
Oh
Never
well, never mind. So yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it?
mind.
I'm kind of glad that Jake's got some Rosie's chocolates. Helen says they've got chocolates to finish.
We've got
The
loads.
other Helen said diet started here today, got on the scales this morning. Yeah, I got on my scales the other day. Oh, Jackie's in the house. Hi,
Hi,
Jackie, how are you? Francesca, make butter and freeze it with the excess cream. Oh, that's what I should have done.
yeah.
I do actually have a butter churn as well, although I have made it just with the food processor.
I got on the scales this morning. I've put on a kilo, which, to be fair, considering he's been home since the end of November and I've just eaten a lot more than I would normally, I'm not too upset with that. That's 2 pounds.
I put on a stone, so £14 to our American and Canadian friends.
In what time frame?
3 months.
Oh, that's not so bad. I thought
Well,
you were
it's
going to
still
take just over the 2 weeks of Christmas.
no, because I was on the toilet for about a week.
We don't need to hear any more about that.
Yeah, we don't need to go into details on that one. I had the norovirus, so
Yeah.
it probably would have been worse. But I've not been on plan
Yeah.
since September, the beginning of September. So September, October, November,
Mm-hmm.
December. Well, 5 months, I suppose.
So it could be worse,
So
couldn't it?
it could be a lot worse. But I'll get back on track. I'm already making soup every day again, so we've got a pan of soup on the stove, much to Jake's joy because he loves his soup.
You'll have to share
Uh,
some soup recipes because I like soup and I'd like to make some more. Somebody said that because obviously I can't have milk. Somebody said in the after party to use the potato and
yeah,
yeah. So if you share some nice recipes, I might have to make some.
can you have split peas?
I believe so.
If you look in the gift along recipe thread, Sparkle Ann added a recipe for her split pea and sort of bacon soup.
Right.
And you make it with bacon, and you can add this Dutch smoked sausage. Well, I just got Mattison's smoked sausage
Nice.
from one of the supermarkets, and one of the days we made it, and I just added some of Jake's chorizo.
Sounds good to me.
And he thought that was wonderful. Helen Gibson says, added a stone since I got out of hospital last year. If I remember rightly, Helen, though, they were quite keen for you to put some weight back on.
Yes.
Because you were living on bacon sandwiches and stuff, weren't you? Because they wanted you to get a bit of meat back on the bones. So
I live on bacon sandwiches. That sounds like a lovely diet.
I'd really like that. I love a bacon butty. Anyway, back to the knitting. So I frogged a hat that I wasn't loving and I was never going to finish, and it's been sat around for 5 or 6 years.
Wow.
Waiting to be finished, and it was a really nice Knit Pro small circular needle that was in it, and I thought, yeah, I need that for loads of other things. So the needles are back in the box.
Didn't Catherine have the oldest whip?
Oh, possibly.
One that was years old. Was it her niece's jumper or something? That
colour work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Catherine says she made parmentier soup last night, leek and potato.
Nice.
So, vichyssoise.
Mm,
That's one
keep
of my
that
favourites.
warm.
Oh, Helen says she didn't think that was weight related.
Okay. So, so has anybody got anything to share with us? Any of their projects? Have they?
Yeah, what are you all working on? Are you finishing things off? Has anybody else frogged anything?
I haven't frogged anything yet.
Oh,
No, I was going to, and I haven't yet.
oh, Helen says get yourself to Aldi because the ham trimmings are great for adding to soups.
There we go. I don't.
They're a really good price as well, and it's like the thick sliced ham you get from the deli. It's not the thin rubbish, the wafer thin stuff you can spit through.
Yeah.
It's not like that. I mean, that's okay if you're making pinwheels, pastry pinwheels and things like that.
I don't tend to shop in Aldi. Their gluten-free range isn't very good.
No,
So
I have to go elsewhere for my gluten free.
normally for me for that.
Now, Helen says I'm trying to finish Edward's sweater. Need to cast off the bottom and then knit the sleeves.
Oh, I'd like to see that then.
So Catherine says last week she frogged her oldest project from 2007.
Wow.
And now have to make a decision on my second oldest project from 2009. So tell us about that project, please, Catherine. And Helen, is this the jumper for Edward? Is that bottom up, top down? Is it one piece or is it seamed?
Colour, is it blue?
I think it's green.
Oh, all right then.
I'm sure she said green.
Is it really green? Or is it?
I don't know whether it's the right green according to Mary Day's son, because obviously it has to be the right green.
The green, yeah. Has she ever found it yet?
I don't know. Helen Gibson says reach the toe of sock number 1. Now this is the one that had the pink at the beginning, wasn't it? And added the green. Helen cares on top down in the round and obviously green for Edward. Okay. I was pretty sure it was going to be green.
Have we not got any pictures, any links? Can we like to have a little rummage around?
Can we have a linkies, please, to the project? Catherine, if you got a linky for your lovely sweater, your
no longer.
But I don't know. I didn't ask what the project was from 2009. We don't know that yet, do we?
No, we don't know that one. We need to see pictures, and
when I spoke to Jackie the other day, we were chatting on online, and she was making some beautiful socks for her daughter.
Yeah.
That was with some Regia sock yarn.
All right.
Very subtle. It looked like pinks and greys and lilacs, and it was really, really pretty yarn.
Sounds lovely.
Just a vanilla socks. It's probably quite relaxing if you can get past the fact that they're socks.
I like knitting socks. Actually, I'm thinking of taking part in Sock Madness again this year.
Well, if you knit them in my size, that would be lovely.
All right then.
Catherine, so my Ravelry's given me a 500 euro account link. The 2009 project Hidden Agenda sweater, 100% pure wool, which is no longer in business, for a husband, mostly 2x2 ribbons so it can expand. All right, we've got the link now. Well done, Catherine.
Yay. You didn't fully break Ravelry yet then.
Oh, that's my job.
That is your job. Preferably.
Yeah, and I'm really good at it.
Yes.
That's Sarah's sweater, isn't it? That's the frogged one.
That is, yeah.
So that's now, that is a pile of yarn again. So there's the pile of yarn, everybody.
Wow. That's curly yarn.
Yeah, but it'll calm down.
Fine.
Quick wash.
Yeah.
Hidden Agenda, wasn't it? Is this the one that's called David's sweater? Here it is.
There it is.
That's a lot of 2x2 ribbing.
That is my idea of a nightmare.
It could have been moss stitch or seed stitch. That would be my nightmare because I end up with columns of rib.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, so Francesca's put a link.
Oh, excellent.
So let's have a look at that one. This is the sock yarn blanket.
Oh,
Isn't that fabulous?
I don't know. I can't see it yet.
Can you not?
No, I can see. Yeah.
Okay. It says it's sharing the page, which is a bit bizarre, but I'll set it up again.
Go on then. Go for it.
Share screen.
Detect.
There we go.
Ah, there we are.
See it now.
Wow.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
I take it that you're going to finish this. You're not going to rip that out.
Crochet hexagons.
That is amazing. How much more is to go?
Look how different it looks though without the black border for the joining.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. So are you keeping the black border on then?
Just give it a nice frame, don't you think?
It looks lovely. Is that
I mean, I think
without,
it's either way.
Yeah.
Was that just when you were looking at how to join it and figuring out from there?
That is amazing.
Ah, right. So there's a more sorry, there's a newer photograph. Can you see that now, or do I need to stop and start?
I think you have to stop and start because I'm still seeing the blanket.
Right. Okay. So there we go.
Wow. Who's it for?
This is for David, isn't it?
Is it for hubby?
Yeah.
So,
it is lovely.
Him?
Well, it's ribbing. It'll stretch to fit pretty much everyone. Let's be honest. Ribbing is rather wonderful like that. Whether it's a flattering fit,
she's not sure she's got enough yarn to finish it. That's what she's saying.
Yeah, well, that would be heartbreaking, wouldn't it, to get that far? I've had someone in tears messaging me, trying to essentially stopping short of blackmail, but not far off, trying to force me to send yarn to Italy.
All right.
But it means I have to register for an EORI number, which means I have to do monthly VAT returns and have to join the VAT MOS scheme, which means I have to have VAT for every country I send to, even though there's no duty to pay because it's only one ball of Debbie Bliss, Blueface Leicester Aran in mustard for her to do the collar on her son's jumper.
Yeah.
But it takes at least a week to get the EORI number. Mike does the paperwork and that side of things, and he does the HMRC stuff. And he's refusing to do the paperwork because it means I'll then have to do a monthly return every month.
Even if there's nothing to...
Even if we don't do any trade at all, you still have to log on and do a nil return.
Doesn't sound worth it to me.
Well, so I've had hysterics and demanding that I ask a friend and get a friend to send it as a gift. Well, I've already wasted about 10 hours of my time on this lady, and I'm really sorry that she hasn't got enough yarn. But, you know, I'm not prepared to set myself up with months' worth of admin.
No, not at all.
So it's ridiculous. So Francesca says she's definitely finishing the blanket. She's about halfway. It's beautiful. I really will. Can't wait to see more of that as you add to it. So Catherine, frog or finish, take the chance on yarn chicken or make something else.
It is such a difficult one. There's so much work done already in that, isn't there?
Yeah. The thing is, would you wear it if you made it with shorter sleeves? A 3/4 sleeve. A lot of men won't.
What about as a vest?
Yeah, I think that might be the answer. Add a ribbed border on the armholes and do the collar.
That could be an answer.
And if you've got enough yarn left, make a hat to match.
Oh, that would be a good idea.
Nice double brim for the cold.
Yeah.
So Francesca says she undid the bit without the border because she felt it was too busy. Where the colours were competing, but with the frame of the black around them.
It looks
and it's
really
a bit like sort of stained glass, isn't it?
Definitely.
Helen says, added a couple of more photos. Colours look correct in these ones. So let me just see if I could share that.
Go for it.
Yeah. Here we go.
What's this?
Scrappy slip stitch socks.
Wow, look at those colours.
They're fabulous, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, I like that. That stitch pattern's lovely.
When they're all nice, cool colours as well. It's a lovely cool green.
It's reminiscent of a tartan, isn't it?
Yeah. You see the difference in that photograph.
Wow.
The colours are truer in that one.
Yeah. I love the stripey on the sole as well.
Yeah, it's really nice, isn't it?
There's definitely some blue in that sock.
No, it's teal, isn't it, Helen? It's
Yeah,
it's not blue.
oh right. Okay.
Helen will confirm that's
right,
teal.
Okay.
Oh, Helen Curzon says, sent a couple of pics to Lorraine in Messenger, just realised I haven't set up a project page. What are you like?
He's just as bad as me.
Will it let me into Messenger from here? Maybe not.
Oh gosh. Now we're straining the limits of technology, aren't we?
Straining the limits of my brain. Anything else?
Well, it is Thursday afternoon.
Oh, here we go.
Go for it.
Let me see if I can share that. Is that one? I think it's that one. Can you see it now?
A green top with I don't know, is that a lighter green or brown around the edges?
Might be like a beigey colour, creamy beigey colour. And then there's a close-up. All right, underarms.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's asking a question about that, Lorraine.
Right, okay.
Question for clever people. It's a raglan, and where I've picked up the stitches up under the sleeve, I've got a hole. Is there a way to avoid this? In that picture.
There is a better way to pick up your stitches, and there are quite a few YouTube videos to show you how to do that. But when it's done, just carry on knitting your sleeve. Get on with your sleeves. Don't worry about it. Afterwards, I can show you how to do it by basically duplicate stitch on the back and drawing the stitches together where you've got any larger holes. And it gives you then a really nice, neat underarm, and you don't have to worry about picking up your stitches. But I can certainly post a link later on where it shows you the best way to pick up your stitches and how you can twist the stitches that you pick up and tighten up the loops to make it as neat as possible, and then you've only got a little bit of sort of invisible mending to do afterwards.
Luckily it's all the way under there. People don't tend to see it anyway, do they?
Well, I think if anyone's staring at your armpit, I think they've got some serious boundary issues.
Walking around
like this.
Hello, do you like my knitting?
Well, you know how it is. So Catherine says that hubby won't wear shorter sleeves, but he would wear a vest for golf, so that might be the solution. Carol says she really likes Helen's was it the socks or the sweater?
Yeah.
Which Helen? Helen Curzon, question for clever people, read that one. So it's a beige to go with the green beige colour.
Yeah.
Jessie's saying sometimes it will happen picking up stitches when it's looser, and it opens up, avoiding picking it up in that stitch, and picking up on the next one next to it will often help, and sometimes it can't be avoided though.
Okay.
In which case, weaving in ends to snug it up. That's what I do. I weave in the ends, and I would almost duplicate stitch through the loopy holes and things like that, and then pull that tight. So it's really easy to do once you're ready. Helen, I've only done one, so I can practice on the other. Well, that's good. Carol's saying she loves the socks. So Helen, that's obviously a winning design. That one is it's the Pippi Slip Stripe Socks by Knit Joys. So was this a gift along prize, Helen?
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking so. Do you want to see the actual pattern?
Yeah.
So,
you know how nosy we are.
Never. So,
I love it.
I'm particularly liking that colour combo.
Blue.
Actually, it looks like a deep navy or an inky purple.
Blue, I love it.
Definitely got some blue. Oh yeah,
Gorgeous.
that's really nice. Oh, and that's nice.
That's really sunny and cheerful. Blue.
Green.
That's definitely green. Is it like Pippi Longstockings?
Could be something like that. That's a really fun pattern. Thank you for sharing that, Helen.
Love it.
So just catching up on comments. Helen Gibson says, I actually downed between the fingers of my gloves, and the socks are a gift along prize.
Cool.
So, yeah. Good pattern choice. Well done.
I've still got a prize code to use. I haven't got there yet.
I've used all mine. I know. Well, I got 2 prize codes.
I got 2. Yeah.
Someone must have nominated me something while I was asleep on New Year's Eve because Alison had sent me a code.
Excellent.
Overnight. And then Catsy, I think it was, messaged me and said, would you like a code for one of the following? And I picked one. It's actually Lynette Graham.
Oh, cool.
And it was a shawl pattern.
Brilliant.
So, but I'm rubbish at the games, and Carol will tell you that my aim in life during the gift along is to torture George with incorrect answers.
I mean, I play occasionally. Occasionally I'll go in and have a look and see if there's one open and I'll send it off. But I don't like to play too often. I like to try and, let other people win them because I'm so wonderful at the game.
Honestly, if I get the right answer after they've published it, I'm happy.
I didn't even get the right answer and the answer was me.
So lucky. Honestly, I'm just really bad at them. It's just not my thing at all.
And also timing.
I don't know.
Like the ones that you can get, everybody else has got, and you just got no hope.
Well, George does it differently now.
Right.
The clue will be posted, and it'll say the 28th person, or the 14th, or the 6th, or the 32nd, and it just stops the people who sit on the games all day long from continually winning. We did have a couple of people complain about it, which I thought was really funny.
Didn't he post one this year that he'd put the hash number person, he'd forgot to replace the hash with the actual number?
Oh, possibly.
Yeah, and I think people said, well, I can't even win it when I know what number I need to be. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Oh, Catherine says she kept answering alphabet soup to keep up the numbers. Well, and I kept answering just with any old name, even if it didn't have the letters that were in the clue.
Just to wind him up.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now he loves you, really.
Yeah, kept coming back with things like, when are you going to Brexit? It's just...
It happened already. Yeah, brilliant.
Oh, so Catherine says she loved that he did the random numbers. It does make it fairer for people in different time zones.
Yeah.
And I think it keeps you on your toes as well. And not everybody's really quick at answering those kind of questions. I mean, I could sit with a notepad all day and never get there.
It was the first time that I managed to partake in the New Year's Eve party. I don't think I've ever been around before, and it was amazing the amount of codes flying around. It was like, I've got another code and take this code. It was really good.
No, it's fun. I think it's the first one I've missed, but there you are. So Helen Kersel says, I like the random number person won the mod quiz when it was George, but it was really obvious though.
That Meet the Mod game was a good one.
Yeah, a bit of fun. I suppose we'll have to think of something new for next year now, because obviously seeing our baby photographs. And
you saw there was the other one. What was the other new one? Yarn Chicken was a new one this year as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah, there was a bit of joking backstage about the prize for yarn chicken should be a load of ends. Big, big bag full of leftovers from yarn chicken.
Yeah, just little scraps.
Um, Jessie said she enjoyed reading all the designer trivia and looking things up to see if she could figure it out, but didn't enter. Did get one of the drive-by random prizes, so she's happy with that. Oh, that's nice.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a shame I missed New Year's Eve, but I was just so tired, and I'm glad everyone had fun. It sounded like they'd had an absolute riot.
Was good. The amount of posts the next day.
Well, it's always absolutely mad.
Yeah.
It is great fun. And as well, going through the sort of Upadoo or Opadoo entries and trying to choose.
I don't know how anyone chooses that.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard. I was down to 2 people
Right.
after several days of deliberations.
Oh my goodness.
And it was so close between the two of them.
Yeah.
But the effort that they both put in was just amazing. And they hadn't gone for the easy win,
Mm-hmm.
I'll just make a dishcloth, or I'll make a ring for a doll.
Oh yeah.
There's always entries like that, and I get that that's a personal challenge, but that's not going to win, is it? Because it's not.
No.
It's not exceptional.
No.
But people obviously embraced it and enjoyed it, so it's all good. Catherine says the designer's trivia is great for seeing new patterns and designers and love searching for the clues, but unfortunately added to a never-ending queue as a result. Yeah.
Oh yeah. There is.
Oh, Ruth Brash is in the house. How you doing, Ruth? Helen says she got a drive-by prize and Kat gave her a prize as well, and plus she won one on New Year's Eve. Well, that's lovely. Kat is always really good at winning on the games and is exceptionally generous after Christmas to share out codes and things like that. She's very that every year.
You can't always use them all yourself, can you?
Well, I think a lot of the time as well, she makes particular things and she's very clear about her knitting time and how planned it is.
Mm.
And if she looks at a range of patterns and thinks I'm not going to make that, then she'll sit down and think, who do I know that would like that? Rather than just take a pattern for the sake of it. So I think that's lovely. I think that says a lot about the spirit of the gift along, really.
And also it's nice to offer it to everybody in the forums, but sometimes, people don't like to ask.
Not everybody does like to ask. And I mean, I didn't go back through a lot of the chat. But I know in previous years we've had the odd unkind or slightly thoughtless one where it's, well, I'm never going to choose anything out of this catalogue because I don't like it. Would anybody else like it? But this year people were much more considerate in what they were saying. It's, these are all socks and I don't knit socks, and calling sock knitters, would anybody like a code? And they were really quite specific with it and very complimentary about the designers and the designs. So I think people were just grateful to have won something and glad to pass that luck on, really.
Definitely.
Yes, that's good. What was everybody's favourite part of the gift along this year? What did you enjoy the most? What would you like to see more of?
That's a good question. What was your favourite bit?
I'm never going to do an Opadoo, but I love to see the entries and how competitive people get.
Yeah.
But I think my favourite bit is always the mod awards because we have different criteria every year.
Yeah.
And the discussion that goes on backstage about the why and the who, and we all pile into a list and then sort of go through the merits of, well, this is for this, that is for that. And I'm glad we didn't do sort of a most projects mod award because we've done that a few years running. It's really easy to just make a ton of tiny little things and make a lot of stuff when really it's not the same challenge as someone who's spent the whole 5 or 6 weeks making a fingering weight sweater on lace weight needles, you know.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not, not, no, there's one of the ladies in her Oppido who crocheted a fingering weight sweater.
Wow.
Yeah, just not worthy, but absolutely amazing. There's sort of camaraderie and things like that.
I've done it once and I would do it again if I found the projects that I wanted to make that fitted the categories. But I don't think, even if I did manage it, I don't think I'd enter it in the competition because I would just want to do it for myself.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few of the mods that enter but disqualify themselves from prizes.
Yeah, I think I would do
a personal challenge. They still go through the motions of putting the entry in, but they say not prize eligible.
Yeah.
Catherine says one of the New Year's Eve games was picking someone else's finished project, and that person would win, and that she really enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, that was a nice bit.
But wouldn't you know, the person I nominated gifted me the code because she'd won another thread in another thread for the same project.
Oh wow.
Well, that's called karma, isn't it?
Isn't it just?
So, you know, just shows that kindness is repaid in one way or another.
Yeah.
Helen Gibson said the same people in the past have just grabbed every code they could. Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because I don't know that I'm particularly popular on New Year's Eve when I hand out codes, because I am always searching for someone who's not won anything.
Yeah.
And I'll spend all night doing that if I need to. And you know, you get people pop up who's, oh, I haven't won anything. Well, we've got a giant spreadsheet of everyone that's won everything, so we know. So please don't pop on and tell us that you haven't when we can see that you have. Well, yeah, it just really makes me laugh. One person that probably 3 or 4 years ago now has said, I haven't won anything, I'll gift along. And I'm looking at the spreadsheet thinking, you've won 8 codes.
8 codes, wow.
Yeah, 8 prizes. Prior to New Year's Eve, but in every thread, oh no, I've not won anything. Yeah, well, it's a good job we check those things, isn't it?
Yes.
Nita said she had a designer notice that had one of her patterns in my queue and she gifted it to me. She said I didn't have to make it during the gift along, but she actually did. Well, wasn't that kind?
Lovely.
That's lovely. Oh, well done, Nita. Francesca, challenging myself with brioche and having the deadline really helped. Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Once you're into the swing of it and you understand the decreases and increases in particular, then brioche is actually quite intuitive, but it's getting going with it. And I love that a lot of people, I think, is it the Deco coaster? Is it a Leslie Ann Robinson pattern? We see that quite a bit in Toys, Gnome and Dumpster Fires thread.
Oh yeah.
And that's a popular one for sort of a first brioche for people to have a go at, especially when they're doing. So what did you make with brioche, Francesca? Do tell us. Ruth loves the accomplishments thread, so people can share an accomplishment for them, even if it's not an opera. Oh, absolutely. And like the lady who made the fingering weight crochet sweater, I am not worthy. So
doing that.
I can't imagine how long that took and how many stitches that was. If for knitting, that would be just, yeah, it's a lot, isn't it? Helen Curzon said, love when the designers get involved in the chat, but basically missed a lot this year and hoping to get involved next year. We'll do an opera one year when the boys are grown up a bit more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun. I mean, there were a few people who didn't make it this year, but I'm sure they'll be back next time. Helen says, I like it when the mods say you can only win once from me because you can still win a lot. Yeah, well, absolutely. There's always a ton of codes flying around. Did I call her out? Helen says. I did send her a message and say, please stop lying, because I just really think it's inappropriate. I can see exactly how many codes you've won, and she stopped then leaping on and doing it. And in later years since then, she's been great. There's not been any problem with it. But it just shows that some people will always game the system, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Catherine, I may do an updo one day, but since I do 3 pairs of socks, I'm already time challenged, but usually challenge myself to find new techniques.
Oh, yeah.
So I learned a new sock cast on I'd never heard of, the Tilly Buddy stretchy cast on for top down, and hang on, and then Jenny's interlock cast off for toe up.
Wow.
Well, I've never heard of either of those, Catherine. I'll have to check those out. Thank you. Oh, Francesca made Sizzle Pop, Leslie Ann Robinson. Should we have a look at that one?
Yeah, definitely.
That is, her patterns are really beautiful.
Are they?
Yeah.
We'll see. Oh, wow. That does sizzle and it does pop.
Beautiful, isn't it?
I love the colours. Was that just one ball of wool that changed colour on its own?
It's, is it 2-colour brioche? I think it is 2-colour brioche.
Yeah, so I think she's got a solid there, but has she got a very, like a striper one as well?
There's a self striper and a solid by the looks of it.
I love that.
We can have a look at the yarn now. That's absolutely beautiful, Francesca.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the Shuffle Vol Zauber Ball, fresh fish.
It's really nice.
Or it's like tropical fish or something. I think they call that colour here. Beautiful, absolutely stunning colours. Oh, well done you.
It's amazing.
And was that your first brioche?
Because that's not an easy project to go with for the first time.
Oh, Helen says you're my hero. So yes, a Zauber Ball and an Undyed for the contrast.
Does Helen want me to sing? Because there's, you know, I can think of a few hero songs.
Yeah, after you've done your outro song, you could maybe do this singing then.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Just jump a little bit.
So how's your shawl getting along? Are you knitting?
I'm doing a little bit of knitting, but it's difficult because it's a lot of like
the meshy bit, yarn over two together. Yeah.
So trying to concentrate on what you're saying as well. So it's taken me this whole hour to get not even one row done.
Well, I've got to the stage in my hat because it's reclaimed yarn. I've got to join yarn again.
Oh dear.
So it's fine. I'll do that in a minute. About another 1.5 inches, and then I'll think about the crown shaping. I suppose I should really plan that out. Thinking that would be the thing to do before you cast on, but you know, you don't know how it's going to look.
Well, do you know, this is what I've done with this shawl. This shawl is designed that you can knit in front of the telly and not worry about a single thing. So, you know, sometimes you just go with the flow. The crown will be the crown. It'll be, don't worry, it's fine.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah.
It won't be a problem.
You know, or you're going to call it the Bridgerton or something.
I've been watching a Discovery of Witches series 2 this weekend.
Matthew.
I've had a few nights away from Bridgerton, just for a change, and not least because in my dream the other night, Henry Cavill was really annoyed that he'd been replaced in My Affections by the Duke of Hastings from Bridgerton.
And now you've replaced him with Henry.
Well, it's with Matthew Good. He was there before Henry Cavill was, to be fair.
I like
that voice. It's honestly, it's like liquid velvet. You could just drown in it and die quite happily, I think. It's marvelous. So yeah, I've watched all of Discovery of Witches season 2, and I'm on about my 3rd watch of it now, and it's the Time Spinner one. So yeah, for anyone that's read the books, absolutely joyous. My mum is desperate to see it, and they don't have Sky anymore.
No.
And of course, with lockdown, she can't visit.
Oh, okay.
So she said, well, how long can you keep your Sky contract going so I can come and watch Discovery of Witches?
quite funny with the lockdown thing, because Phil's best mate has rung us a couple of times, and we've spent days in the house where we haven't gone anywhere at all. Right? Yet every time he rings, he happens to catch us when we're in the car going somewhere.
Well, you must be up to no good. That's all I
Well,
can say. Francesca says that was her first brioche.
well done. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
absolutely excellent job.
That is.
Should be really proud of that, Francesca. Just
Fine.
wow. Yeah.
Even in bed.
Sorry.
I wear that all the time, even in bed. Just I would.
So where's she going with this?
No.
Okay.
Fine. So I'm going to cook dinner in a little while. We've got the turkey stir fry today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then we'll be watching some more of that. We watched The Gentleman, the movie, last night. I don't know if you've seen it. It's on Amazon Prime. It's got Hugh Grant. Oh, there's loads of people in it, famous people. It's a Guy Ritchie movie.
Right.
There's loads of faces in there that you know. Lady Mary as a Cockney. She sounds like Natalie. What's her name? Out of Love Actually, the one that goes out with the Prime Minister. You know Natalie, the character Natalie that works for the Prime Minister in Love Actually. You know.
Yeah, who used to be Tiffany
Martine
in EastEnders.
McCutcheon.
Yeah.
Lady Mary with Martine McCutcheon's East End accent. Unbelievable. I was like, the whole time, she is fab. Her character is just fab. You got to watch it just for her.
Oh well. It's good that she could do the accent though, because I always think back to there's a Burniston sketch of two Scottish guys in a lift,
Yeah.
a voice activated lift, and
Oh,
they're
I've
saying
seen that
11, and he says, "What part of England are you free?" And the same one as Dick Van Dyke. No, it's just
no, she's brilliant. It's because you're so used to seeing her as Lady Mary, aren't you?
yeah, you don't imagine that she could be anything else,
But her
and yet.
character's fab. I absolutely loved her. She was my favourite bit of it. Really was. So if anybody's got that, I recommend The Gentleman. It's really good.
I only watched a couple of episodes of Killing Eve. Mike thought it was wonderful, and
I love Killing Eve.
and the girl in that, she did a broader scouse she could never wish for. A just unbelievable accent, and then you see her on camera, and the Russian and everything else just sounds perfect. And you think, what is going on?
She plays in I think it's the White Queen or the White Princess, and I think she's the White Princess. So she is Henry VIII's mum, marries Henry VII, and her accent in that, you just wouldn't know that she was a Scouser at all. She's brilliant, love her.
Oh, Carol says, "Wow, Francesca." So yeah, we're all a bit gobsmacked.
Yeah, we are. Absolutely. What's she going to do next? If that's her first.
Well, yeah. Where'd you go from Sizzle Pop? Is it a garment next? Now that you know how to do shaping.
Yeah.
A brioche sweater.
I think so.
Are you a garment maker? Not everybody does garments.
There is that.
Yeah, more sweaters than accessories, really. But
I like everything, to be honest. It depends what mood I'm in.
well, I started the hat because I knew it would just be a simple 96 stitch, easy Aran project, and it would knit up relatively quickly. And by the time I'd finished it, I wouldn't be bored or stymied or anything else with it. And I just thought that was the best way to go, because I think otherwise, I wasn't really in the mood to do anything.
So we're not going to see another lockdown blanket from you this time, then?
Good question. I don't know.
I think we need another lockdown blanket.
I don't know.
Because we're going to be here a fair few weeks yet.
Well, at least until the middle of February, aren't we? So I'll have a look in the yarn. I've got to get Jake to help me in the morning to get out 6 of the really big boxes, and I bet the one that I want is right at the back because I've got
Oh,
someone who wants some Lion brand yarn, and I think it's in with the superwash cashmerino Aran, and it's just a couple of oddballs of the cottonies that I've got left that somebody wants, and I think that's where they are. That it's always the box right at the back. It doesn't matter what order I have the boxes in. And I'm going to have to find a nice way to message this lady and say, no, I'm not prepared to commit customs fraud. Because essentially that's what she's demanding that I do. And I want to be helpful, but, demanding that someone else buy the yarn on her behalf.
Yeah.
And expecting me to sort all of that out. I'm sorry. I sell to the UK. and anywhere else by special arrangement. And certainly not the EU now until they sort this mess out.
If she wants to arrange somebody to buy it on her behalf and send it, you're quite happy to send it to somebody who's purchased it within the UK, and then that's it. That's your involvement.
Well, yeah, but essentially she's wanting me to commit a fraud and asking someone else to do that on my behalf, and I'm not prepared to do that. And she keeps laying it on thick. I must have had a dozen photographs of this almost finished sweater. And I'm just sat thinking, well, I'm not the idiot who didn't buy enough yarn. And well, I had to add extra length because he's tall.
What you should do is send a reply with the picture. Go, oh, that's really nice. It'll look good when you finished it.
Well, yeah. But it's not up to me to sort someone else to buy the yarn to send it to her. And then, or send it in a plain parcel. You cannot even send a gift in a plain parcel now. No. Even a gift has to go with a customs form. It's like sending to the US. Mm. But you have to have this VAT number. And you've got to have the GB VAT number. And you've got to have this EU VAT number. So I've got to register twice and do monthly returns for a £5.95 sale. No. It's just a lot of work for one person, and I'm sorry that she can't finish her jumper, but
it is what it is, my dear.
Well, do a black collar. I don't know. Find some brown.
Yeah, just go for a complete contrast. That's what you need to do, rather than try and matchy. If you can't get that, go for something completely different. It'll be fine.
Well, yeah. And, she could play around with the ribbing.
Now that sounds wrong. Please don't repeat that.
What is she like? Minding the gutter. That's usually my job.
Well, we've got to keep us entertained in the best way we can, haven't we?
We have. So, yeah, I'm going to have to spend a lot of time planning out my meals and emptying the cupboards of Christmas food. Jake, bless him, is doing his absolute best. There's a tin of roses behind me that he's chomping his way through. Mm-hmm. And there's various bars of chocolate that he's very kindly said that he will eat so that I'm not tempted.
He's such a good lad, isn't he? What would you do without him?
I know. So, he wanders upstairs with a pile of cakes on a plate. Just, what have you got? Saving you from yourself, ma'am. So.
He could come and eat some of the ones we've got here.
But, he probably would.
Probably would, yeah. Is it essential travel? Why are you travelling today, sir? Wow, I've been told.
This woman's got 27 packets of biscuits and I don't want her to get fat.
Yeah, they've got milk in. She can't eat them. It'll make her poorly. So I'm saving her from being ill and needing to be admitted to hospital. So it's saving the NHS.
I know. I've got my exercise bike set up and I've been doing a few miles a day on the exercise bike.
Excellent.
Yeah, barely stand after it. It's pathetic, really.
Do you need to stand afterwards?
Well, I need to wobble back to the sofa.
There you go. That's what you need. Sorted.
Fall off it. I don't know how these people manage with these spin classes. I think I'd die.
Yeah.
Oh, grief.
Yeah.
So,
Die.
Helen says, has she not got a friend in the UK she could get it sent to? She says not. She's she's more or less demanding that I sort it out, and it's not my job.
No.
Julie is here. She says hi, Emma.
Oh, that's my big sister.
Oh, hello.
Yes, all the
Is
way
this
down
your,
Island.
this your first time in the house?
I think it is.
Do welcome.
Yay.
Just in time for Emma to sing.
Yeah. Oh, Julia loves my singing. She got back with it. You know,
Is this why you were banished from Hailing Island?
well, she probably taught me everything that I know, actually. She used to train me by making me listen to Wham and Nick Kershaw. You know,
Oh, I used to love Nick Kershaw and Wham. And who didn't have the hots for George Michael
oh, exactly.
in those days?
Yeah, bless him.
Men or women. I was more of a Duran and Spandau Ballet
Oh,
fan.
yeah, she used to love Duran Duran as well. In fact,
Have you,
them.
sorry,
What?
I interrupted you.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
No,
So
I like the Clash as well.
Oh,
So.
well, so I was thinking that today the appropriate song would be Ghost Town, really. You know,
Okay, because nobody's out.
nobody's going anywhere, or they shouldn't be anyway.
No.
You know, what do you think? Is that appropriate?
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Are you going to do your vocal warm up?
Yeah.
I'm sure Carol is absolutely raring for you to get started, and Helen loves it when you sing.
Carol can't wait.
Helen gets in.
And I think Arthur might be ready to join in as well.
Oh, good. Yeah. Which is your vocal warm up today? Is it the splash one?
Yeah. No, I best not do that because my husband's hanging around. I might, might make him just so distraught at having to leave me if I do something like that because he really
Yeah, loves your singing.
yeah, he loves it. So I think I ought to just go straight for it because
Something basic. Yeah.
we don't want to make it more difficult for going back to work than necessary, do we really?
No, not at all.
Not at all. So I'll just count you in and I'll just
go
straight into the whiny bit in the middle of Ghost Town. Not even the wordy bit. I think I'll just go for the whiny bit.
Whiny, but you're really good at whiny noises.
I'm brilliant, yeah.
Isn't she astounding?
Are you ready? I'll count you in.
Yeah.
All right then. 5, 4, 3, 2,